Welcome to the Montgomery Small Caps Management Series, and today with me I have IMDEX Chief Operating Officer Paul House. Paul, welcome to the series.
Thanks very much, Gary. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, let's start off. Tell me about IMDEX.
IMDEX has been around for a long time. It's been ASX listed for over 30 years. It has grown substantially. It is an ASX 300 company. We've got a market cap now over 550 million. We do sales in over 102 countries around the world.
Wow.
And we've got a network of people that's 500 people strong now, spread across the globe, and we operate everywhere where there's mining activity around the world.
Paul, what does IMDEX do?
So IMDEX aims to make drilling and exploration as efficient and as easy and as accurate as possible. So we do that by having a fleet of high technology tools that enable you to drill any particular program as easily as possible. So it's quite one thing to drill a hole, but it's quite another thing to know where you have drilled, what you have drilled through, and what decision you want to make as a result of that, of the data that you collect. And IMDEX provides the answers to those opportunities.
Fantastic. Can you talk me through the business model, how it works?
So IMDEX is primarily a rental-based model. So we develop very high-tech tools that we rent to customers and that they deploy as needed on their site. The rental model works for us because it enables us to keep upgrading our technology platform on a constant basis, and as we have updates to that technology, and the customers get the benefit of that new technology, and we make maximum use of the investment we've already made.
And the resources market is cyclical. Can you explain how the business model works in an up cycle and a down cycle? What kind of flexibility does the business have?
Right. So historically, IMDEX has been quite exposed to the exploration cycle, which is a little bit more volatile than the mining cycle itself. We have offerings that we put in both the exploration cycle and increasingly into the mining cycle so that we limit our exposure in that area. The advantage for our customers is that they get to move the pace of their spend as dictated by the cycle. The advantage for us is that we get to spread our investment anywhere in the world where that cycle happens to be most prevalent or most opportune.
Okay. Can you talk to us about the addressable market? Maybe give us a sense of the size, the nature of the customers.
Yeah. So IMDEX has solutions that we offer across the entire mining value chain. So everyone right from exploration right through to extraction and all of the stakeholders that sit within that spectrum. That includes miners and drillers both. So we have products that provide value to drillers to help them drill more cost effectively and more accurately. And we have products that we provide to mining companies that help ensure they prosecute the target they're seeking, and they can plan for the total risks involved in the geological body that they're targeting.
And what's the competitive advantage of the business? I mean, when I first came to Australia, I spent some time trying to find companies that were driven by intellectual property development and using that intellectual property to create a competitive advantage. IMDEX stood out to me, but perhaps you can give me that context of your competitive advantage and what it means for your customers to gain access to this.
Well, we place technology leadership as the number one differentiator or priority within our business. We invest in that technology leadership to the tune of $10 to $15 million a year in R&D.
Yep.
That
expense, not capitalised?
We expense the whole lot. It's a very conservative approach, but it means that we're not worried about any balance sheet risk per se. It also means it's a lever that we can move as we need to. We've been very consistent in investing throughout the exploration cycle. So the secret to good innovation and good technology investment is to ensure that you keep investing throughout the cycle. There's a lot of IP that accrues from that R&D investment, and our IP portfolio is probably one of our strongest assets. We have trademarks and patents across over 40 patent families. Our nearest competitors only compete in 8 and 2 patent families respectively. Wow. So for us that's a significant advantage. Yeah. There's probably 2 more things that we do very well, and that is that we have a global network of people. So we are where everybody operates, where they need us to be. And the last thing is that we really prioritise real-time data. So the fact that we can deploy tools, and quite a breadth of tools, as evidenced by our IP, means that we can actually bring all those things together in a collective solution and provide real-time data to the decision maker, whether that's the driller or the resource company.
So, Paul, IMDEX has had its R&D machine working now for multiple years. As a fund manager looking from the outside in, I've seen the innovation heritage deliver lots of value and capability and competency and competitive advantage now. But I can also see that you've got a significant suite of product releases just about to be commercialized. If you could talk us through what those large product cycle events are, maybe name them, give us a sense of what the addressable markets are, that kind of thing. So tell us about these product releases.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. IMDEX is going through a pretty exciting phase of growth right now. In addition to our core business, we have two major focal areas of growth. One is product extension into drilling optimization. And in that range, we have the core Vibe, Maghammer, and extractor products, which are improving the efficiency of drilling overall. And then we have market extension, where we're moving with a stronger platform into the mining production space. And what we're doing is using our existing technical capability, but creating multi-sensor tools that go down blast holes instead of exploration holes.
That all sounds good, new product releases. But new products, they cost money, not just from a funding point of view, but from a commercializing point of view, going out there and making it happen. What's the condition of IMDEX's ability to go out there and get these products doing justice in the market?
We've probably never been healthier, Gary. Our balance sheet is in a net cash position. We have expanding margins in our core business. We've resumed paying dividends. The investment we make in our tools has a very short payback. And we take a very conservative position when it comes to the way we manage our R&D expenditure and the like. Financially, we have great runway to be able to go and produce whatever we need to do and prepare the platform for the rest of our business to grow.
I think we've got to the point in the interview where I'll ask you a little bit about the outlook for the business. And I'll note that in first quarter, I think you had record revenue for the business. Perhaps you can give us a sense of how the business is tracking and what the outlook for fiscal 20 might be.
Sure. So you're quite right. Q1 for us was a record. I should point out that record is at a time when we're at an early point in the cycle after the peak of 2012. In 2012, total exploration expenditure was about $21 billion US. Okay. This year, S&P forecast that to be $9.8 billion US. Wow.
So the market's halved and we're doing records.
And we're doing record revenues every quarter. So Q1 for us was very strong. Last year, Q2 and Q3 was a bit soft in markets around the world. We expect Q2 and Q3 this year to be stronger than Q2 and Q3 last year.
So Paul, if you had one message to give to IMDEX's investors about the business today, what would that be?
IMDEX is a mining technology company that is aiming to change the equation for drilling in the industry forever. As we like to say, it's about drilling faster, drilling smarter, and knowing your rocks in real time.
Okay. Well, look, Paul, on that, thank you so much for your time today. I'll just conclude by saying that's an example of a growing Australian technology company taking their product to the world and commercializing the R&D investment over bigger markets. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Gary. Appreciate the chance.
Cheers. Thank you.